What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, a Knicks fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop? Hit the notification bell. Well, the New York Knicks taking on the Detroit Pistons, and what did you expect? The Detroit Pistons came into this game short-handed, missing 8 key players. But let's be honest. Well, I'm not gonna just shrug off the Detroit Pistons, but this is a game that the New York Knicks was supposed to win, and the Knicks have been consistent when beating teams. When it comes to beating teams that's under 500, we'll get into that a little bit later on when I talk about Thibodeau and his desire to remain the New York Knicks coach. All right, let's get into this game real quick. As I said, the New York Knicks dominated Detroit Pistons, shooting 51% from the field, going 19 from 46 from downtown, 15 from 22 from the free throw line, grabbing 52 rebounds and 30 assists. 11 of them assists coming in the first quarter. And I would like to see that, continue with the New York Knicks. And although Jalen Brunson is our all-star point guard, I would like for him to continue to be our point guard. You know what I'm saying? I want the points tonight. 28 points, another spectacular game. Started off a little slow. You know what I'm saying? Defense was collapsing around him, as he's going to see on many other nights before the season is over. That's 12 games, if I'm correct, left. But it's another game that the New York Knicks was supposed to win and did win. You know what I'm saying? As I said, we dominate teams that's under 500. Matter of fact, I think we're something like we're 25-2 when it comes to teams that's under 500. So this was a game that the Knicks were supposed to win, and even money, Vegas money, they had the New York Knicks coming out on top. And if you bet it, you probably won yourself a couple of dollars. All right, let's get over to the man of the hour. Not the man of the hour, but part of the hour. Josh Hart with his 6th triple-double of the season, 11 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists in 40 minutes. And this is what I keep talking about, them assists. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Jalen Brunson, how many assists he had tonight? Excuse me. He had 6 assists tonight. You know what I'm saying? But I think Hartenstein probably matched that. If not, Hartenstein had 5 assists. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Hartenstein had 5 assists, and I don't have no complaints about Jalen Brunson scoring, but I just would like him to get the team involved. There was a stretch into the game where, the Detroit Pistons went on an 8-0 run, and that had to be contributed to Jalen Brunson. He came down and he missed 3 consecutive shots when he had Hart open in the corner, and he had a Grimes open on the sideline on one play also, and he forced a couple of shots. And I know that's how Jalen Brunson actually played, because that's how he gets his groove. You know what I'm saying? That's how he actually get back into his groove. But 4 shots is not going to help us in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he's forcing shots and the other players are not on or not having a good night. It's going to lead to some things that the New York Knicks not going to like, fans as well. But let's get into Josh Hart and what I seen in Josh Hart, what we keep seeing in Josh Hart on every other night. He hit some key baskets, 3-pointers, because his 3-pointers have been shaky, very shaky, shooting somewhere in the 30s. But Josh Hart continued to be the heart of this team. Like I said, I want to call him the whole heart, because he go to the hole with Hart. And not only that, he is the heart of this team. But if he continue to play this way, the Knicks are going to be a tough out when the playoffs start. The only team I really think that's going to give us trouble, and then one team I'm really afraid of, you know what I'm saying? I know one would think that's Boston, but that's, that's everybody outcome, but it's not Boston. You know what I'm saying? What team that really scares me is the Orlando Magic. The way the schedule is right now, if the playoffs was to start right now, we would meet them. We have not beaten them this year. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But we have not beaten the Orlando Magic this year, even before the injuries. So that is a team that really do scare me. Other teams, I'm confident that we can get by. Boston, I know, will be a tough series, but I think the New York Knicks will actually take that series from Boston. And reason being, I think Boston is going to come into the playoffs very overconfident. If not the New York Knicks, I think it might be another team that knocked them out the playoffs. That's just my beliefs. I'm going to say it once more time. That's just my beliefs. That Boston is going to come in the playoffs a little too confident. And then there's always the concern with injuries. And I'm talking about Porzingis mainly. And that the injury bug really haven't hit in Boston this season that hard had it hit other teams. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm thinking about. But let's get on to another player, the real man of the hour tonight. I know Jalen Brunson had 28 points, but this man continue to do his thing. That's my man. I don't want to mess up his name, so I'm just gonna come out and say Donte Divincenzo. I hope I said it right this time. 40 points, shot 14 for 23 from the field, 11 from 20 downtown. Let's not forget, the man had a career high 3-point record for the New York Knicks, breaking Evan Fournier's game. And this was perfect because he was playing against Evan Fournier. And let me tell you something, that was the best defense I ever seen Evan Fournier play in the fourth quarter in my life. He was trying to keep Donte from breaking that record. He like, yo, if I'm not playing for the Knicks and y'all gave me the raw end of the deal as I left the team and in my career with y'all, I'm not letting this man break it. But Donte was undetermined. The Inferno was on fire tonight. Donte Inferno, continue. Well, I'm not going to say continue because as we know, his 3-point shooting have been a little off lately. So to have him come out and play the way that he played is just, in my opinion, was amazing. You know what I'm saying? For him to keep coming out and playing the game that he's playing, Donte, that is, I don't know. A lot of people, when we first got Donte and Quentin Grimes was here, you know, it was a little controversy with him being put into that starting rotation. And I made a video and I was like, start this man. Not only because he was more productive than Quentin Grimes, I'm going to tell you my main reason, and a main reason why the New York Knicks felt comfortable in trading Quentin Grimes. He's injury prone, and that's the biggest problem with him. And I think that's going to be a hindrance throughout his career. But when Tibbs made that switch, you know what I'm saying, that most of us was calling for, he made the right switch. If you think about the management of Leon Rose and what he did this summer or last summer in the last couple of years, and how he transformed this team into a team that can be one of the dominant, if not dominant team on defense in this league. I know you got Boston out there, you got Milwaukee, and I'm talking East Coast right now. We're going to leave the West right there for a second. But bringing Donte Divincenzo in was a stroke of genius. And I know Golden State right now, I said I'm going to leave the West out, but they're not even in the play-in. They're doubting that choice about not re-signing him. Maybe they couldn't re-sign him because financially they couldn't. Let's be real. That's the main reason why they let Donte walk. They couldn't keep him. But for Leon Rose to go out and spend the money when a lot of people said that we overpaid, another thing they said about Jalen Brunson, the results speak different. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, the results is speaking different for this team and what the coach have done what the GM have done going out and bringing in the talent to surround Julius Randle. And I know he's not here. And man, if Julius Randle was right here, we can only imagine how this team would look. But let's talk about the trade for a hot 20 seconds. And when I say the trade, I'm talking about all the trades. I'm talking about Barrett. I'm talking about Emmanuel Quickly. When you talk about Barrett, that Achua, or we want to say basically Anunoby was the best team. That's that swap in that deal. And when they talk about giving up it quickly, because we knew what we had, well, the coach, and I'm going to say I myself, because you have heard me on many occasions, if not, and you're new to this channel, praise Miles McBride, actually scorning and actually upset with Tom Thibodeau that he didn't get this kid into the game quite sooner, you know what I'm saying, more often. A lot of things played into the trade because the Knicks seen what they had, and McBride bringing in Anunoby to place RJ Barrett, or it's all due to management and having the foresight to see what would make this team better. All right, that's just my opinion. But let's get into what this video, the thumbnail, dragged you in, and let's talk about Tom Thibodeau. Show me the money. That's what Tom's saying right now. Tom Thibodeau want that money. You know what I'm saying? If you look at what Tom Thibodeau have done for this team, I'm gonna have to go to the papers because my memory and it's not as it used to be. I'm not as young as I look. Trust me. The New York Knicks are fourth in the East right now. We're second in our division, the Atlantic, 43-28. Just one game out of third, averaging 117 points a game. That's 12th in the NBA. Defensive wise, we only give up 112 points. Eighth, it was a period in the season where we was holding teams under 100 points. Field goal percentage was 17, shooting 46%. 3-point with 17, shooting 36% from downtown. Wins, when it comes to New York Knicks having a 10-point lead in the games, we are 38-3. And as I said earlier, we're 25-2 against teams that's under 500. And then if you combine the records of the last 5 previous New York Knicks coach, that would be Derek Fisher, Kurt Rambis, Jeff Hornacek, David Fizdale, a coach I did like. I'm not gonna lie to you, but he wasn't right for this team. And Mike Miller, them coaches combined for 147 wins and 329 losses. Now you slide over to Tibbs, 167 wins and 139 losses. And I know you can't really compare the losses because that's 5 coaches, but I broke it down. That would be 65 losses for the season if you were to break each coach down, and 17 wins. But Tibbs and Tibbs have been more productive than each one of them coach. Let's be real. And any season, getting us to the playoffs, getting us out of the first round. The Knicks haven't been this productive since 2015, and he's been the main reason. And now he's looking for some money. And if you think about the coaches that I'm putting up right here, there are 3 of these coaches I'm gonna say right now, in my mind, are well deserving of these contracts. Monty Williams, I don't know how he got that amount of money from out of Detroit. 6 years, $78 million. They was desperate for a coach. They know, and honestly, if you look at Detroit, they're only a year away or maybe 2 of being a real good, solid team because they got the talent. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people want to say they got a lot of G League players, but they have a lot of talent on that team. And Monty Williams right now, his job is to evaluate which players that they're going to keep and get rid of. Because I love Doran. And Wiseman, I know Wiseman has been underwhelming. You can call Wiseman and I don't mean no disrespect, trust me, but the Kwame Brown, you know what I'm saying, this underachieving, and one would say that maybe the coach is not playing him to his strength as Kwame would like to have y'all believe. No disrespect. I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm just comparing them for a second because you see 2 players got drafted high and have a lot of potential, but right now just not fulfilling that potential. But Monty Williams got his hands full with that team, and I think just because Detroit know what type of job it's going to take to get that team to respectability, he got $78 million. Steve Kerr, if you look at his contract, he's actually the highest paid coach out of everybody if you break it down by years. $17.5 million extension for the next 2 years. That's a lot of money. But then when you go over to, and before I slide over to Greg, let's just talk about Steve Kerr. And I know a lot of people gonna say like he basically is piggybacking off Mark Jackson, and that's old news. We're not even gonna talk about the conspiracy. Why did I bring it up? I had to. But Steve Kerr, multiple championships with Golden State, deserving of that money, very deserving of that money. Very deserving of that money. Now, when we go over to Greg Popovich, it's been a long time since they've been, I'm gonna say, relevant. But Greg Popovich still a great coach in my opinion. And when he get the right players around him, I think San Antonio going to get that respectability back. You know what I'm saying? But he got $80 million 5-year extension. extension. Do old. Saying the thing about it, no disrespect. Will he be around that long? You know what I'm saying? But he got a 5-year extension worth more than $80 million. I know I got $80 million up there, but it's worth more than $80 million. So you know Tom is looking for his right now. And let's slide over to Eric Spoelstra. 8 years, $120 million. And honestly, I know the Heat has always been in the midst of it, and even when they look like they're down and out, they come back and they're a disruptor. In the playoffs, they knock teams out that's not supposed to be knocked out. Break other fan breaks Hart, New York Knicks. But $120 million for Eric Spoelstra, I'm gonna be honest. No. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think he's worth that amount of money. Nah, I'm gonna be honest, because yeah, the Miami Heat won championships, but that was with LeBron James, and you would have to contribute that to LeBron James. I don't care what none of you say. Them championships was won by LeBron James. So reward a coach that having that amount of money, but like I said, he keeps the Miami Heat relevant. You know what I'm saying? And the playoffs relevant. But who's that owed to? Jay Buckets, Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying? And they got some talent around Jimmy Butler right now, so the Heat is definitely going to be a problem in the playoffs. Definitely. And we need to, if we come across, we're going to knock them out, because Julius is going to be back healthy, and he's going to remember what you did, what you took away from him this season. You know, I took half of the season away from Julius Randle, so we're going to definitely knock you out. But let's get back to Tom Thibodeau and his accomplishments. And I just broke down how many games he won: 167 to 139 losses. One of the most productive coaches that we had in the last 6-7 years out of 5 coaches. Right now, out of the last 6 games, we won 5. The New York Knicks are looking really good, 4th in the East, like I said, 2nd in the division. And Tom Thibodeau was looking to get paid. You know what I'm saying? A Jerry Maguire move. He want that money. But how much money is Tom Thibodeau worth? As you see what I got up here, $78 million to 17.5 for Steve Kerr, 80 plus. And 120, which I don't think he deserved. And let's take in the fact that Tom Thibodeau only been getting paid around 7-point-something million these last plus seasons. So right now, one would say he deserved for a goddamn raise. But how much of a raise are we willing, the New York Knicks is willing to pay Tom Thibodeau? What do y'all think? I think, give the man a 3-year extension worth $66 million. That way, he's getting 20-something million per year, outpacing Steve Kerr, and we won't be locked in to him for so long. Make that last year option, or whatever they do with how they do. You know what I'm saying? If it can be done that way. But $66 million for 3 years to hit Tom Thibodeau off, to reward him for what he's done, I think would be respectable if he go for it. But I think that would be a nice price. What do y'all think? Hit me in the comments. Tell me if $66 million to a 3-year contract for Tom Thibodeau, is that appropriate for what he's done for this team, or what the team done for themselves? And what I mean by that, the guys that Leon Rose brung in, I think with any of them coaches that we had previous, we would still be making the playoffs with the talent that we have. So I'm not going to say Tom Thibodeau not play a factor, because if you think about it, there are pros and there are cons to his coaching style. One of the cons is that he overplays his players. Because if you think about tonight's game, we up 25 points and he still had 4 key players in the game. I know one would say that Donte was going for that record. Yes, but other guys, you know what I'm saying, key players, when you know we got key players out. We just re-signed Jeffries and Mama Me. I can't pronounce that name. I ain't getting into it. But we just made key re-signing 10-day contracts. And we up 25 points. And in the 4th quarter, let them guys earn their money. Keep these guys. We're already playing Miles McBride 48 minutes a game. This guy 40 minutes a game. Now, now would have been time to bring in other guys. This is what I'm saying. This is one of the cons. And then y'all already know how I feel about the defense, but the defense is working, because it's where it got us at right now. Forget me for the tongue twister. So the defense, I can't complain about the defense. But the way he's playing the players and the positions and his time that he's playing the players, when I think the players should be resting, in my point, yeah, that have a big part of me always talking a little bit negative. But I cannot deny that he has been great for the New York Knicks. The culture, the franchise, our record, the fan base. Yes, we love you, Tom Thibodeau, and I think you need to get paid. And I think 66 million 3-year extension would be perfect. What do y'all think? Like I said, hit me in the comments. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace.